and one show building completed. The project had become embroiled property at risk of being lost through the legal action before Abiodun administration intervened, settled the dispute out of court, and commenced payments to secure the state interest in the property. Rather than abandon the inherited project, the administration subsequently adopted a public-private partnership model with the state providing the land and infrastructure while private developers undertook the construction and sale of the housing unit. The development features well-constructed road networks with street lighting, landscaped green areas, clean water supply, waste management facilities, a sporting center, children's playground, clubhouse, 24-hour power supply, ample parking, and top-notch security within a gated community, among other facilities. Governor Abiodun says the project demonstrates his administration's commitment to protecting public investment and completing inherited projects rather than allowing them to become abandoned assets. For decades, education is seen as a pathway to a better future and meaningful employment. But with Nigeria's labor market becoming increasingly competitive, employers now demand more than academic certificate. As concerns grow over the gap between what students learn in school and the skills required in the workplace, questions are raised about the readiness of Nigerian graduates for the world of work. Olaide Oloye Sholuade examines the growing gap between education and employability, highlighting Nigeria's high youth employment rate and the structural mismatches within the country's tertiary education system. A report.
A university degree remains an important qualification for entering the workforce, but in today's competitive economy, a certificate alone no longer guarantees employment. Employers increasingly seek graduates who demonstrate problem-solving abilities, effective communication, teamwork, leadership, digital competence, adaptability, and practical experience. Beyond academic knowledge, the relevance of the curriculum and the method of teaching face critical scrutiny. A professor speaks on whether the current education system adequately prepares students for employment, highlighting gaps in curriculum relevance, practical learning, industrial training, internships, and the relationship between educational institutions and employers.
They are employable generally. That's why they have various programs to equip them, both technically and practically. You have COS, you have ICT, you have so many things that they are attached to in the process of education. So at the end of the day, they don't rely only on certificates. They have practical areas to work on.
With technology transforming virtually every sector and artificial intelligence shaping the nature of work, experts state that educational institutions must prepare students not only for existing jobs, but also for emerging opportunities. This requires greater emphasis on digital literacy, vocational skills, entrepreneurship, critical thinking, and continuous learning.
We commend the government for coming up with entrepreneurship across board. We have it now at the tertiary institution level. So as it is now, it is a good step in the right direction. All we have to do is to ensure that we sustain on what we have at hand at the moment, and we're also able to improve on it. Because it is not just enough to have a certificate. You must be able to make sure that you have something that can actually, sustain yourself, sustain your family, and make you less dependent on the society.
Religious institutions and other community stakeholders also play a vital role in preparing young people for responsible participation in society. They discuss the importance of character development, discipline, integrity, strong work ethics, confidence, and responsible citizenship in preparing youth for the world of work.
Lecturers are trying. It depends on how the student want to take it. It is high time the parent now rise to education and make sure that their student now face what they want to do in the tertiary institution and come out with what they want.
Most of the teaching, especially in the tertiary institutions, are theoretical. But I feel there has to be a change of focus because the curriculum does not change. The leaders may get there and do their own branding, they do a lot of things, but the same curriculum is being taught our people. But every person that has that training has to get out after the graduation or after leaving the training to know what he or she wants to become by converting the training into practical something.
Ultimately, bridging the gap between education and employability requires active collaboration among schools, government, employers, parents, religious institutions, and the students themselves. As Nigeria seeks to build a productive workforce and improve the transition from school to employment, one question remains.
The increasing use of social media among Nigerian youth is raising concerns over its impact on education, mental health, and overall well-being, while digital platforms have created opportunities for learning, communication, business, and entertainment. Experts warn that excessive and uncontrollable use is fast becoming a silent threat. As more young people spend long hours online every day, concerns continue to grow over the effects of social media addiction on academic performance, productivity, interpersonal relationships, and personal development. Comfort Alonge's report is presented in this package.
Social media addiction is the excessive and uncontrolled use of digital platforms such as Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, WhatsApp, and X. While these platforms have transformed communication, learning, business, and entertainment, experts warn that excessive use is increasingly affecting the lives of many young people. In Nigeria, many youths now spend several hours online each day, leaving little time for academics, family life, physical activities, and personal development. Some respondents who spoke with OGTV crew shared their views on the growing trend and its impact on young people.
It has brought a lot of improvements, but the only thing we can just continue praying for is for our people to know how to use it properly, not negatively, because most of the things in Nigeria, we always use them to attack each other.
The respondent observed that when used responsibly, social media can serve as a valuable tool for learning, innovation, entrepreneurship, and national development. They, however, cautioned against activities that waste time and hinder personal growth.
I can call it modernity. That's where we have gone far. The society is not static. We cannot be on the same spot. So they should just be addicted. They should use the beneficial advantage of social media and not in excess. The youths, they are the owner of the social media. But as I've said earlier, they should not misuse it by going to Yahoo or social vices. They should take the best advantage of social media innovation.
They also stressed the need for parents and guardians to closely monitor and guide their children's online activities while encouraging schools to strengthen digital literacy and responsible internet use among students.
We should always monitor what our youths, what they do, where they go. No, even in all this iPad, the handsets, monitor them and see where they go. And again, we should try to teach them.
The respondent further called on government and all the stakeholders to intensify public awareness campaigns on the dangers of social media addiction.
If you look back, you will see that President Tinubu have set up a very good standard. What we should now ask ourselves is, let us do what is proper, and let us do what will develop the whole country.
They advised young people to maintain healthy screen time limit, engage in productive offline activities, and harness digital platforms for positive interaction, education, and personal development.
Still ahead, Federal Government Task Salaries Commission on Fair Wages, Productivity. One news on report after the break.
The gateway state, southwest region of Nigeria, the investment roadmap is being reimagined for an inclusive and sustained ecosystem that is attractive for competitive investment interests in investable sectors of the state's economy, including but not limited to solid minerals, agriculture, manufacturing, logistics, and transportation sectors. To magnify Ogun State in the investment map of Nigeria, His Excellency Prince Dakwa Abiodun established an agency solely mandated to pave investment pathways by promoting and facilitating investment inflow into the gateway state. Ogun Invest has ensured that the investment wheel has remained in constant motion. The Ogun Invest mandate is clear: to attract and facilitate new investments of all asset classes while promoting Ogun State as the investment destination of choice. Invest in the gateway state.
Glad to have you on the second segment of the news. China has announced a grant of over 40 billion naira to Nigeria. The grant is intended to support Nigeria's national development and economic growth, as disclosed by the Chinese ambassador to Nigeria, Yun Dai, during a meeting with the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Dr. Dinoma Umar Ahmed. Ambassador Yu said that over the past 55 years since the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Nigeria, bilateral relations have consistently remained at the forefront of China-Africa relations. In recent years, under the strategic guidance of President Xi Jinping and President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the China-Nigeria Comprehensive Strategic Partnership has entered a new stage of high-quality development. China and Nigeria have maintained close communication and coordination, working together to implement the common understandings reached by the two heads of state and the outcomes of the 2024 FOCAC Beijing Summit, and to ensure that increased cooperation yields benefits for the people of both countries. On his part, Dr. Dinoma Umar Ahmed thanked China for its concrete support for Nigeria's economic and social development, saying that the grant assistance fully demonstrates China's sense of responsibility as a major country and reflects the deep friendship between Nigeria and China. The new monarch and the people of Okio-Noimure have been charged to serve as vanguard champions of the Ogun State government investment drive, ensuring that development and prosperity flourish within the community and beyond. The state governor, Prince Dakwa Abiodun, gave the charge at the official presentation of the staff of office and instruments of appointment to Oba Kehinde Azan Bilau, the newly installed Oloke of Okio-Noimure in Shagamu local government area. Elizabeth Esson was there for OGTV News. A report.
August year 2026, I hereby present the staff of office to KBC. Congratulations, KBC.
The official presentation of the staff of office and instrument of appointments to Oba Kehinde Azan Bilau marked his former installation as the Oloke of Okio-Noimure. The instruments were presented on behalf of the governor by the Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs, Honorable Ganiu Amzat.
Of Okio-Noimure in Shagamu local government area, which effect from Thursday, 30th July 2026, in accordance with Section 22(1) of the Obas and Chiefs Law of Ogun State of Nigeria.
Some of the chiefs expressed confidence that Oba Kehinde Azan Bilau would leverage his resources and connections to improve the welfare and development of the community.
This occasion will bring prosperity, will bring progress, and will bring more progress for the citizens and people of the world.
What they did is mighty. This expansion is really means a lot for us. It's a means of development for Imure as a whole.
In his response, the newly installed Oloke of Okio-Noimure, Oba Kehinde Azan Bilau, expressed appreciation to the state government and the people of Okio-Noimure for their support. He pledged to work assiduously towards the growth and development of the community.
We continue to uphold our traditions, promote unity among our people, and work to progress and development of Okeono.
Oba Kehinde Azam is one of the two newly installed monarchs in Emure, appointed to further support the Elemure of Emure, Oba Deshegun Alowole, in the administration and development of the community. Elizabeth Eson, OGTV News.
Congratulations to the monarch. Ogun State House of Assembly, through its Committee on Public Account and Anti-Corruption, chaired by Honorable Damilare Bello, has directed all local government councils to immediately stop the practice of engaging revenue contractors for revenue collection in line with the relevant extant laws and regulations. This is just as the committee also requested for the submission of comprehensive records of all landed properties belonging to the various local government councils to strengthen accountability and safeguard public asset. The committee issued the directives while concluding its week-long consideration of the 2024 report of the Auditor General for Local Government at the House of Assembly Complex, Okemoson, Abeokuta. The chairman, in company of other members, said the councils must strictly comply with circular number SART/72/003 of October 2013, which prohibits the engagement of revenue contractors for revenue collection to promote transparency, accountability, and improved revenue administration at the grassroots.
Council are directed to immediately recover and account for all local government number plates in circulation, with a view to curbing impersonation of public officials and preventing the unauthorized use of government identity and property.
The committee also directed all heads of local government administration (HOGAs) to submit comprehensive records of landed properties belonging to their respective councils within the stipulated deadlines earlier communicated, while urging the Local Government Service Commission to mandate the HOGAs to prepare and properly execute a comprehensive handover note during transitions to ensure continuity and effective management of financial and administrative matters. The committee also commended the Office of the Auditor General for Local Government for its diligence, professionalism, and efficiency in the discharge of its statutory responsibilities as reflected in the 2024 audit report, stressing that strict compliance with its resolutions would strengthen accountability, improve record management, and enhance good governance. The committee, which considered the audit report of the remaining 4 local government councils, including Shagamu, Remo North, Odogbolu, and Obafemi Owode, further extended an invitation to one Mrs. Ireti Kushimo to appear before it on Wednesday, 19th August, while requesting the management of Remo North Local Government Council to reappear before the committee for further clarification on issues arising from the consideration of the council's audit report. The federal government has called on wealthy Nigerians, philanthropists, business leaders, and corporate organizations to invest in establishing fire stations across the country, declaring that firefighting is the responsibility of everyone. Comptroller General of the Federal Fire Service, Adeyemi Samuel Lumode, gave the charge at a one-day national stakeholder summit on fire safety held in Abuja. Adeyemi, who spoke under the theme, Building a Resilient Fire Service for the 21st Century, said Nigeria needed a multiplicity of strategically located fire stations to bring emergency response closer to communities and reduce response time. He cited the Ofa Descendants Association Fire Station, Oyo Town Fire Station, Idonre Fire Station, Bonny Island Fire Station, and Kubo Fire Station as examples of what could be achieved when individuals, communities, and organizations invested directly in the safety of their people, describing such gestures as an investment in lives and property rather than mere philanthropy. The Comptroller General noted that the summit also marked exactly 1 year since he assumed office on 14th August 2025. An anniversary, he said, provided an opportunity to reflect on the service's achievement over the past year rather than a deliberate coincidence. He listed some of these achievements to include the rehabilitation of 40 firefighting appliances, the supply of 2 modern firefighting appliances, and over 2,000 pieces of personal protective equipment, as well as the training of more than 700 cadet officers in basic firefighting who have been since deployed across commands. Child labor remains a major challenge, depriving many children of their right to education and a better future. Across street in the country, children who should be in classrooms were seen on the street to sell goods, carry heavy loads, or even work to support their families. In this special report, Mozidat Olakpade examined the causes and effect of child labor and explored what can be done to protect every child's right to learn and thrive.
Child labor refers to work that deprives children of their childhood potential and dignity. It might be harmful to their physical and mental development. Globally, an estimated 138 million children are engaged in forced or exploitative labor.
NAPTIP law, that is the anti-trafficking legislation in Nigeria, Trafficking in Persons Prohibition, Enforcement and Administration Act 2015, specifically prohibits everything that is exploitative labor, whether it is a child and all that, and even sexual exploitation, especially for those below 18 years of age. In Ogun State too, I know that Ogun State has implemented or has passed the Child's Rights Law and also the Violence Against Persons Law too.
Some correspondents said child rights have been violated due to poverty and lack of financial support.
Child labor is a form of human trafficking. When you recruit a child to engage in a labor that physically affects his psychological, mental, and social well-being, we have the NAPTIP Act that specifies all the penalties for contravention of the TPR Act.
They urge parents, especially mothers, to take greater responsibility for the care and welfare of their children, even when one parent is not fulfilling their responsibilities.
My take on child labor is that it's total abuse to the rights of the child. But be that as it may, we know the way things are in Nigeria. We know how it's so difficult for parents, especially mothers, to raise their own children, maybe by financially handicapped, or situations may just present itself that they suddenly find themselves as single mothers. But my advice to such people is they should desist from child labor, because what goes round comes round.
Stakeholders said ending child labor requires the collective efforts of parents, communities, non-governmental organizations, and government by ensuring that every child is in school rather than on the streets.
Good old age has been described as a grace and gift from God that should be appreciated. The Archbishop of Egba Province and Bishop of Egba Diocese of the African Church, the Most Reverend David Akinremi, made this assertion at the 70th birthday celebration of Olori Yetunde Olufunmilayo Tejosho held at the African Church Cathedral of St. James Idiakwe, Abeokuta. Elizabeth Esson reports that the event was attended by royal fathers and dignitaries from all walks of life.
Olori Yetunde Olufunmilayo Tejosho, wife of the Oshile of Okeomegba, Oba Dr. Adewale Adedapo Tejosho, was joined by royal fathers, government officials, captains of industry, ministers of God, family members, and well-wishers to celebrate God's faithfulness at 70. In his sermon, the Archbishop of Egba Province and Bishop of Egba Diocese of the African Church, the Most Reverend David Akinremi, enjoined the celebrants not to relent in our service to God and in the propagation of the gospel.
Oh, you have contributed immensely to the growth of the church. You have been a patron of grace, dignity, compassion, a role model and a great source of inspiration to so many people around you.
The husband of the celebrant and the Oshile of Okeonoegba, Oba Dr. Adedakpo Adewale Tejuosho, used the opportunity to express his gratitude to members of the African Church worldwide for the peace and unity currently being experienced. The celebrant was thereafter joined by all in attendance for a thanksgiving, after which prayers were offered for God's continued protection and guidance over her and her household. At a colorful reception held in honor of the celebrant, family members, guests, and well-wishers spoke glowingly about her.
Ever amiable, very open, to know where she stands on the issue.
Very plain, very down to earth, very loving, very generous, with deep humility.
She's humble, she's kind, she's generous, she's God-fearing.
She connects people together. Apart from the fact that she's a true child of God, who is interested in souls and how to help the less privileged.
She's beautiful outside, beautiful inside. Anything she's doing, she's very, very serious about it.
She's very loving and she's always for Christ. She tells people about God all the time.
The celebrant's husband and fellow wives also prayed for more years of God's greatness for Olori Yetunde Olufunmilayo Tejuosho.
To get to the 7th floor is no joke. But thank God, God has kept her through thick and thin to get here with a lot of patience on all sides. She survived 70 years in life and over 40 years in marriage.
I wish her long life. I wish her to stay in Jesus. She's an amiable lady and we love each other. She's my big sister. It's not only sisters that are born of blood, but there's some sisters you acquire. She's one of the sisters I acquired.
The celebrant said that for the gift of life and good old age, every day of her life will be dedicated to the service of God.
It's not all that smooth and it's not all that bad. You go through ups and downs, but if you have Christ in you, you will scale through.
Different performances added glamour to the event. The cutting of the birthday cake was conducted by the wives of past governors of Ogun State and the Deputy Governor, Engineer Noimot Salakowe-Edele. Elizabeth Eson, OGTV News.
Congratulations to the celebrant. Senior Tabaru is standing by for the business update. To stay with us.
Yes, sir.
Morning, everyone. Here's to a top day. Here's to living the creamy and delicious life.
We go dance until the morning light. Everything is feeling right tonight.
Have a top day with Top Cafe.
You're welcome to the business segment of the news. The Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission has confirmed the commencement of consultations with relevant industry stakeholders on a domestic crude oil and gas swap arrangement aimed at curtailing supply costs and ensuring more crude is available to Nigerian refineries. The initiative is expected to strengthen compliance with the domestic crude supply obligation and domestic gas supply obligation while reducing the need to physically transport crude over long distances to meet supply requirement. The NUPRC Chief Executive, Orise Meiwa Eyeson, disclosed this during a court visit to the Nigerian Midstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority in Abuja.